After Christmas dinner, I opened my safe. My emergency cash. Gone. Dad calmly said, "We gave it to your sister. She's starting a family." My hands went cold. That night I called my lawyer. The next morning I sent some emails and checked certain accounts. By the afternoon my sister called, panicked. "What did you do?" I simply replied, "Check your inbox." Christmas was supposed to be peaceful this year. I hosted, not to show off but because I thought if I made it warm they'd care. I cooked. I cleaned. I bought gifts for my nieces and nephews even though they barely remembered me. Dad sat silently at the head of the table. My sister walked around taking selfies for her social media. Mom whispered behind napkins, never once asking how I was. No one thanked me. Not for the food. Not for the gifts. Not for letting them stay longer when their plumbing broke. I smiled. I stayed quiet. I thought maybe they'd see me if I didn't make it about me. They didn't. After everyone left, I cleaned up. The house was quiet. I opened the safe out of habit. The cash, $14,000, was gone. Emergency money. Not savings. Just something in case life went wrong. Dad walked in, drying his hands with a towel like he lived here. "We gave it to your sister," he said. "She's starting a family." Not, "We borrowed it." Not, "She needed help." No warning. Nothing. They opened my safe, took the money, gave it away, and didn't tell me. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I called my lawyer. He said, "I'll start the paper trail tonight." I sent emails. Quiet, serious emails. Nothing loud. Yet. That afternoon my sister called, nearly crying. "What did you do?" I calmly said, "Check your inbox," and hung up. She texted again, "You're blowing this out of proportion." Like the money just appeared. Like safes open themselves. I sat still. Coffee cold. Laptop glowing. Emails piling up. I wasn't answering, not yet. I was remembering. This wasn't new. It was a pattern. Before her wedding, my card was charged $9,800. "You don't have a family, might as well help," she'd said. The bridesmaids laughed. I smiled and replied, "Hope you find me useless real soon." They spent my money like it was nothing. When I canceled their access, I was vindictive. I paid the mortgage once. They bought patio furniture a week later. I paid her car loan in 2021. He posted a selfie. Nothing feels better than financial independence. She didn't even mention me. Every time I helped, they acted like it never came from me. Every time I stayed quiet, they acted like they built their success alone. I remembered Mom's voice when I offered to co-sign their refinance. "You're the only one we can count on." Sounded like a compliment, but really it was a life sentence. And now, taking money from my safe? That was the final proof. I wasn't their son. I was the support beam, expected to carry everything but never noticed. Suddenly all the old memories hit me differently. Christmas Eve, they gave my seat to a neighbor. "You'll be fine in the kitchen." Their anniversary dinner. I wasn't invited, only important people were. I paid $12,400 for the backyard remodel. They brushed it off with a text, "Don't be dramatic." My sister's wedding RSVP cards? My name was the return address. Her wedding? Paid with my credit line. Dad's voicemail, "Maybe it's better you don't come around anymore." Each moment wasn't random, it was part of the pattern. I ran the whole system behind the scenes. They just kept enjoying the benefits. The worst part, they didn't even bother to hide it anymore. They were so used to using me they stopped pretending I mattered. And still, some small part of me hoped they'd stop, that they'd hesitate before crossing the line again. I wasn't expecting an apology. Just one pause. One small sign they knew this was wrong. But no one blinked. Not her. Not him. Not anyone. So I made a choice. No more being the useful one. No more quiet sacrifices. No more polite betrayal. I wasn't going to argue or beg. I was going to take my life back, and let them deal with the holes they created. That night after my sister's call, I didn't fight. I didn't explain. I didn't try to get my money back. I reclaimed myself. The emails I sent weren't sudden. They were a careful checklist I'd been building in my head for years. First email to my lawyer. Start the formal process to cut financial ties. Remove me from all shared accounts. Begin protecting my assets. Second, to my financial advisor. Move all my money into a protected trust. Exclude immediate family. Third, to my accountant. Audit all family-linked payments from the last 5 years. Flag the unauthorized ones. Prepare the paperwork. This wasn't revenge. It was me taking back what I built. By midnight, I logged into my IT company's system, the one I built from scratch. The same system quietly running my parents' home security, their cloud backups, their phones, their business software. All for free. All unappreciated. First step, I turned off their security cameras. Next, I disabled their smart locks and thermostat. Then I shut down their Wi-Fi network. No more free tech support from me. Next step, the family phone plan. 5 lines. Mine, theirs, my sister's. I didn't cancel, I transferred it all to them. If they didn't accept in 72 hours, the lines would be cut off. Their problem now. I even stopped paying for their streaming services. It was small, but they'd feel it. By morning, the texts came in. My sister. Why are the cameras offline? I can't log in. Dad, the mortgage company called. What did you do? Mom, you're not seriously doing this, are you? I ignored them. They weren't asking, they were demanding. But the truth was, I was the system and I logged out. By noon they called. I didn't answer. I waited for the voicemail. Dad's voice. Let's talk like adults. I laughed. That was his go-to line. Talk like adults. After standing by while they stole from me and pushed me aside. By evening, my sister texted again. Netflix isn't working. Fix it. I replied. You said you didn't need me. No emoji. No extra words. Just facts. But I wasn't finished. I logged into the back end of their accounting firm's IT system. They had no clue I still had admin access. They thought I set it up years ago as a favor, then forgot about it. They didn't know I still managed their firewall software and backups, quietly protecting their whole setup. They didn't even realize the domain name was registered under my name. I deactivated their software license. I sent a message through their admin dashboard. From this moment on, I'm no longer providing free support for your systems. Please contact a new IT provider. Then I logged out. And waited. 30 minutes later, my phone filled with voicemails. By morning, my uncle's clinic called me in a panic. Their system was down. No access to patient records. The billing software was offline. Their whole business depended on the setup I quietly maintained. I didn't break anything. I didn't sabotage them. I simply stepped away. Without me, the system collapsed because they never built their own safety net. That afternoon, my cousin Ellie messaged me. Did you really shut everything off? I replied. I didn't shut off the system. I removed myself. The rest fell apart on its own. She didn't argue. Instead, she called me. It was the first time we'd spoken in a year. She told me what I already knew. My parents were twisting the story. Saying I'd lost my mind. That I was jealous. Typical. But this time, Ellie didn't believe them. And she wasn't the only one. I sent the real proof to the few family members who actually mattered. Not to cause drama, just facts. Audit logs. Payment records. Screenshots showing I built and ran the system. With a short message. I just want you to know the truth. You don't need to respond. That night my dad texted. You've made your point. That's enough. But it wasn't about making a point. It was about ending the cycle. I removed my name from the family storage unit. The one I'd been quietly paying for that held Dad's tools and all their holiday decorations. Lease cancelled. Locks changed. I called the mortgage company next and removed myself as a co-signer. The person on the phone warned me. Doing this might trigger a foreclosure review. I understood. I confirmed it. 3 hours later, my mom texted. The mortgage company called. Fix this. Fix. That word again. I didn't reply. I moved the remaining money from the shared emergency account into a new trust. Locked, protected, and only accessible by me. The text started flooding in. Sister, you're overreacting. Mom, family is all you have. I stared at Mom's message for a while, then replied. I had a family. I'm not part of it anymore. Then I switched off my phone. The next day I called my lawyer to start the legal process of cutting all ties to their business. I wanted no responsibility. No connections left. My lawyer asked. Do you want me to send them a formal notice? I said, no. Let them feel what it's like when I'm gone. When the system they leaned on disappears. When the calls go unanswered. When the passwords don't work. When the safety net vanishes. For the first time I didn't feel guilty. Not for leaving. Not for letting their world fall apart. Not for finally walking away. They didn't just lose their son that day. They lost the system I built. And I wasn't coming back to fix it. The next morning my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Hundreds of missed calls, texts, voicemails, all from the people I used to call family. They were panicking. Mom's message was in all caps. What have you done? We're suffering. Fix this before it gets worse. Dad's voicemail was full of anger. You ungrateful brat. After all I did for you. You'll regret this. He sent the same message over and over. My sister started a group chat with relatives saying, he's acting crazy. He cut all support. Don't trust him. 12 blue check marks showed they'd all read it. They thought shouting would fix things. But silence speaks louder, and I was good at silence. The messages kept coming. Sister, stop this or I'll expose private information. Lawyers. Threatening to sue me if I didn't reinstate services or return the money. Emotional guilt trips. Your nieces are scared. We're losing everything. Please help. I stayed quiet. I watched. An hour later my lawyer forwarded me a cease and desist letter from my sister's lawyer, threatening legal action if I didn't restore their services and undo the trust changes. My lawyer remained calm. They can file. Let them. You've done everything legally and with proof. I leaned back. My heart was steady. The storm had started, but storms always fade. By the afternoon they tried pulling in allies. Uncle Chris, their banker friend, texted. You know legal fees will bankrupt them. Think carefully. I posted vague Facebook updates implying I was selfish and immature. They were scared. They played the victim. They teamed up but I was ready. I uploaded all the audit logs, emails and records to a private, secure legal folder. Only a neutral lawyer had access. Every payment. Every change. Every detail. Time-stamped. Documented. Ready for court if needed. Then the rumors started. Not real news, just gossip. Family friends called me asking for details. People forwarded me old group chats making the rounds. My world was getting bigger, and theirs was falling apart. That evening I saw the final blow-up coming. First, an email from Mom's lawyer, demanding I fix everything, pay damages and follow their rules. Then a formal letter from Dad, saying I'd caused them stress, hurt their reputation and betrayed them. They blamed me for everything and tried to make it sound like love. We only did this to help your sister. We never meant to hurt you. Their usual trick. We took the money. He exposed us. He's the bad guy. It was ridiculous. They broke into my safe. They took my money. They cut me off. And now I was the problem because I stood up for myself. I looked at the emails full of threats. I forwarded everything to my lawyer and replied. Under review. My next steps will be based on legal advice. The system is down. The trust is gone. No fancy signature. No kind words. Because there was nothing left to sugarcoat. Later my sister texted again. If you cared about this family you wouldn't hide behind lawyers. You just fix this. I typed back. I gave everything. You took it twice. Then silence. Not a threatening silence. Just empty. The systems were off. The shared drives were locked. The cameras offline. The house quiet. I checked my phone. No missed calls. No new messages. Because this wasn't anger anymore. It was consequence. They built a system. I stepped away. And now they were left to deal with the mess without me. That evening they showed up at my door. All three of them, Mom, Dad, and my sister, standing outside looking serious, dressed like they were here for a funeral. Not ready to fight. Not ready to say sorry. Just polished. Rehearsed. Maya opened the door. She didn't invite them in. She simply said, "You can stand there." I stayed seated listening. Mom's voice cracked before she even started. "We didn't come to fight. We just want to talk." Maya stepped aside but no one moved. The air felt heavy. I stood up. Dad spoke first. "You look tired, son." I didn't reply. Mom jumped in, shaky but clearly practiced. "We made mistakes. We didn't mean for it to get this far. You cut us off. You didn't have to be so final." Then the real reason they came slipped out. "We need you." There was. Not "we miss you." Not "we're sorry." Just "need." Like I was still their tool. Their free labor. Their fix. I stepped closer, Maya beside me. You don't need me. You need what I gave you. And that's gone. Dad's face hardened. This family falls apart without you. Then it's not a family, I replied. It's a business model. My sister stepped forward, angry now. So you're throwing everything away over one bad night? I laughed, short and cold. It wasn't one night. It was 20 years. You treated me like backup. Like a tool. You thought you could just reset me anytime. But the power's gone. Mom's voice broke into real tears. We didn't mean to hurt you. We didn't realize how much you did. I stared at her. That line, we didn't realize, hit like a slap. You didn't ask. You didn't care. As long as it worked, that was enough. Dad tried one more time, softer now. We raised you. You owe us something. I shook my head. You raised me to believe I owed you everything. You spent it. It's gone. Silence. Cold, sharp, final. I took one step closer so they heard every word. I didn't walk away over money. I walked away because you never saw me, just what I could give you. I looked straight at my sister. You didn't just lose the benefits. You lost the relationship. Then I looked at all of them. You weren't cruel. You just didn't care enough to look beyond what I could do for you. I'm done paying for that. Maya closed the door behind them. They didn't knock again. I stood there in the quiet. For the first time, it didn't feel empty. It felt clean. Final. They didn't cry. They didn't beg. They just stood there shocked. Because they finally realized the one thing they never thought possible. That I could leave. That I wouldn't come back. And that I meant it.